Excited coming out of the break. It's a great opportunity for us the way that the bye did fall. An opportunity for us as a program to go back, and particularly defensively, to do a bunch of self-scout, to look at areas that we need to do better schematically, also to making sure we're matching our personnel. As we look to reset, we want to make sure that we put on film that we're fast, we're intelligent, and we're tough. And if we'll be a fit football unit, particularly on defense, we'll give ourselves a chance to be competitive in every competition we play in.
Zevi Eckhouse has 4 touchdowns and no interceptions in his past 2 games, had a strong performance against Ole Miss. What's your approach to disrupt him in this very strong Wazu offense, and who are some of the guys you're looking particularly to step up?
Yeah, I think when you look at their as a group, the quarterback, golly, when they went to him, he's a guy that, can make a bunch of throws off platform. He does a great job even when his feet aren't set of having really accurate throws. He can create as a runner. They're committed to running him as a runner. And so what we're going to have to do is play great defense, play with great effort. And again, I think collectively, it's not necessarily only one player. It's just we got to play 11 as one, play complementary to each other. And then, frankly, when guys are in position to make plays, we're going to have to do a great job of tackling here coming out of the bye.
How much did their offense change when they made the decision at quarterback?
Yeah, I think, you just look at as far as, with regards to takeaways, you look at their efficiency. They've the last few weeks, they've been really, really efficient, haven't turned the ball over. They've moved the sticks, and they've kept people on their heels as far as what they do formationally. And so, it's a testament to what they did down at Ole Miss here last week, that they're a really, really good football team.
Other than the quarterback, what else did they do offensively at Ole Miss that got your radar?
Yeah, they do a nice job as far as changing formations and sets. They got the ball out of the quarterback's hand. They were efficient in the run game. They got a whole backfield of running backs that run really well, and then they're really, really well coordinated, and a really good group up front on the offensive line where they'll they knock you out on a double team and do a nice job as far as with their gap scheme runs and misdirections to get you your feet not set and your eyes a little bit all over the place and wild. So goodness, I think that every week you can see and watching from game 1 through their game 6. I mean, they've just each week they're better and better and better, and that's what you anticipate with a well-coached unit.
2 defensive touchdowns for you guys in that game at Louisville. What kind of confidence did that give your guys?
Yeah, sometimes a little better lucky than good, but we'll take it any way we can get it. Yeah. Felt fortunate. Anytime that we got to create turnovers, and it's going to continually be an emphasis for us every week, is to be able to be great as far as being active, as far as punching and stripping at the football, along with being opportunistic with the ball in the air. And so, it's every week. If we can create some extra possessions for the offense, allows us to play complementary football, and it will always be an emphasis item for us, is making sure we can create some takeaways.
I say Cam, that shoestring catch he made. What kind of athletic ability does that take to make a play like that?
Yeah, but it started with when he was young and his mom Erica was throwing him balls in the backyard. That's where it starts. And so we're fortunate where he displays that for us on Saturdays in the fall, and you look at just the whole group, as far as guys, finding ways to get our hands on balls, and now we got to capitalize a few more times with balls in the air.
So his production through 3 games, I think he's second on the team in tackles, even though he's only played half the games you guys have as a team. Did you expect it to come this quick, him able to overcome that injury this quick and play as well as he has?
Yeah, no, Cam's always played at a high level. Yeah. He's somebody that, he looks to make the play, he wants to make the play. And we got to continue to put him in a position as coaches for him to be really, really productive.
Coach Elliott told us the other day that on Friday nights there's been program alumni who are sending in videos for the team. Have any of those stood out as especially impactful this year?
You know what? I actually haven't. Sometimes I'm not at that meeting. It might be because of recruiting or something else. So I guess I don't have a reference point for that.
Sure. Well, it's also homecomings this weekend. They're honoring the 1995 team at the game. Have you guys connected with any of them, or has there been any conversation about teams in years past who have gone on to win big-time bowl games?
Yeah, I think you look at, golly, anyone that's had the opportunity here to play at the University of Virginia is connected to who we are today. We realize that the young men that we send out there, they're Virginia football as it is, but again, they don't have this opportunity if it's not for the men and frankly the women that have poured into the young men in this program. So we're blessed to have an opportunity to get a bunch of really, really good folks from not only football players but alumni back here on campus.
Just looking back at the first half of the season, what did you just learn about the guys through the first few weeks?
Yeah, I think what you learn, as far as, who's been productive. You also get an opportunity to say, hey, schematically, this is what we're good at. And you're always looking to say, hey, how can we be better as we go forward? And it was a good opportunity for us to be very introspective.
It seems like your pass rush just keeps getting better and better. Just comment on where you are right now with that.
Yeah, it's, there's no equity in last week, so we got to go do it again. We've got to be creative with what we do schematically. At the same time, we've got to let our, playmakers go make plays. And it's ultimately up to our young men with taking ownership as far as when they line up across from the man across from them that they're going to go win that one-on-one. That's in our pass rush. That's with the ball in the air, be it a corner or a safety. And so, we're excited to see these guys be able to get another opportunity to put their ears back and do it smart and do it fast.
You guys have seen two pretty elite receivers the last two games in Deuce Robinson and then Chris Bell. What have you learned from those matchups and ways to attack and defend, those top tier receivers?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just it's every time that we line up and we have an opportunity to go win one-on-ones, we got to do a great job as far as putting our body on the ball carrier. And then again, as far as it's finding that way competitively to punch or strip at the ball. And, we've had a bunch of guys that have been close, but close doesn't count with the ball in the air. And when you're on the island as a safety or DB, you've got to go make that play because everyone in the stadium knows who gave up that catch.
It's like Devin Neal had a pretty key pass breakup late. And I think it was in the overtime when he broke up the pass that might have been a touchdown to Bell. How key has Devin been back there for you guys?
Devin's a rock. He's the guy that just every day you just know exactly what you're going to get because of his consistency of the way that he works, his intentionality as far as his work, his focus in meetings, and he's brought really, really good leadership as a guy that has really said, hey, I'm taking advantage of every opportunity I have at the University of Virginia.
It's become a lot more common for you guys to face first-time opponents the past couple of years with realignment and everything. What are some strategies that you've kind of learned in terms of scouting out a first-time opponent?
Yeah, I think what's interesting is sometimes the colors they change, but schematically every week, and really it was through the first really 5 opponents. They had a coordinator that was not there last year, so there's a huge challenge every week of having to learn a new offense, having to really dive in, do your research of what you're going to see situationally, and then also saying, hey, what is their identity? And so it's a fun process for the staff and players, as at this point in the year, you're really teaching offense as much as you're teaching defense.
You've been here since Tony has. A win Saturday gets you bowl eligible for the first time for you guys as a staff here. I know you have big aspirations this year, but what would that mean for this program?
Yeah, we want to go 1-0 each week, and it's the opportunity to earn any type of postseason opportunity. It would shoot as a blessing, and it's something that is earned, and so we have an opportunity this week to go earn it.